Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm going to be talking about cholestasis. I went through 4 pregnancies with cholestasis. It's liver malfunction that has bile going into your bloodstream, and this causes a severe itch on your body. It could be your hands, your feet, your belly, just a severe itch. That doesn't matter what you use to go, to take away the itch. Benadryl, anti-itch gels, any creams, the whole OTC, over the counter anti-itch creams don't work to relieve this itch. And it's because of this bile in your bloodstream. So it's a severe itch. And for many of our relatives, or maybe our spouse, or co-workers, or for the people around us, it's hard for them to understand. Well, it's just a itch. Your life is upside down for you being itchy. And it's like, yes, my life is upside down, and I'm depressed and feeling because of this lack of sleep, and I don't even want to eat because of this itch. And so you those are all the symptoms. And it you can't control it. You can't control it, and it's very serious. So it's very important for people in around us to get educated about it too, to understand that it's an internal itch that's not going away. I'm not scratching myself until I'm bleeding for no reason. So I had 4 pregnancies with cholestasis. My first one, I went undiagnosed. I had my baby on my due date. And one of the risks of you having cholestasis during pregnancy is that you may have a hemorrhage. Because you may have a hemorrhage, they are inducing girls with cholestasis of pregnancy at 37 weeks. And during the process, they're injecting them with vitamin K to prevent hemorrhage. Little Anna, 11 years ago, went through this experience. I had my baby, delivered my baby, everything was good. 2 hours later, I started labor pains again. I felt like I was having another baby. I had already went through, asked for like more meds, and I wasn't due for any more meds for the next 6 hours, and my pain wasn't going away. And I remember them checking, and that everything was okay down there and all that. But I started having this excruciating pain that I with tears in my eyes, I told the nurse, like, I know you just checked, but the pain is not going away. Very, 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 very severe. Please check. There's something going on with me. Sure enough, 5 clotted balls of clotted blood came out. She seen it. She was like, and she paged doctors. She ran outside, screamed for help, came back in. Within a minute, I was in the OR room. I was rushed into the OR room. A doctor like flew into my room, and he seen what was happening. I was having a hemorrhage. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what's going on? But I just knew that I had to sign a waiver. My blood was so low, they had to um they couldn't get more blood off me. They gave me blood transfusions. They hooked me into 2 bags of blood. Made me sign that waiver for, like, you might have HIV. And they made me sign a waiver for, like, hey, we may have to remove your uterus, and you're just not gonna have any more babies. But hey, you just had one, so it's a positive thing. But if we can't control the bleeding, we're taking out your uterus. They would have to prick me from my toes, to check the level of my blood, to see if my blood was going up, put me to sleep. And God knows what they did to me. All I know is that I woke up in the intensive care unit on the 3rd floor, and I was very, very scared. There was a bunch of is very terminally ill patients, elderly patients, patients who had seen that just been pulled out of the um, ambulance because of car accidents. It was just not the scene that you want when you're 19 and having your first baby. So I luckily, of course, I kept my uterus. So if you look into history a little bit, you'll see that on third world countries, one of the main reasons why women die during labor is because they have a hemorrhage that it's uncontrolled and they lead to death. Kaiser saved my life. Thank you for that. And that is one of the reasons. Well, I mean, one of the risks. Sorry, moving on. Second baby. My second baby. I didn't have my second baby until I was 5 years. 5 years later, until my first son was 5 years, I had my second son. My second son, I was a lot more careful with what provider I went to look for. I had moved to Austin, Texas. There I found Dr. Capit, which is an amazing OBGYN. If you're in Austin, go to Dr. Capit. She's amazing. I told her all my experience from my first pregnancy. She asked for the medical records. She knew what was wrong with me on my first pregnancy, but she did not tell me. I do remember her indication, hey, as soon as you start any itching, let me know so we can run some blood tests. When the itch started, I let her know. Sure enough, I heard I was diagnosed. She told me you have cholestasis of pregnancy, and that was the first time that word was ever introduced to me. And she said, at your 37 weeks, we're gonna induce you, and to make sure that there's no risk, and to avoid you having a hemorrhage again. So that was the plan. I was getting monitored. On my 32nd week, I was shy like 2 days to be 33 weeks pregnant. I went to get monitored, and the baby was very stressed, which is one of the risks for for the baby, is to be very stressed, and to have stillbirth, to deliver a baby dead, which is very, very scary. But there is a possibility. And for this reason, you get monitored on your third trimester and even before. So I was 33 weeks, about 33 weeks, and um, baby's heartbeat was, you know, dropping, and baby was really, really stressed. So doctor decided to throw in the towel and induce me. So she induced me, and when you get induced, it's not like you have your baby like, the next hour. As for me, it didn't happen like that. It took a whole 24 hours for me to actually go into labor. And then I got the steroid shots for the baby, to get the lungs stronger. And of course, the rule of thumb is that baby has to stay in the hospital until the baby's due date. So that's probably one of the hardest things, is to know that with this cholestasis of pregnancy, you might have a preterm baby for several reasons, and that baby might stay in the hospital, and you go home, and it's hard, but a lot of women have been through it before, and a lot of women unfortunately will still be going through it. So woman power, just you can do it. It's really hard, it's sad, it's depressing, but I guarantee you, like, once baby's out, the itch stops, you feel like you gain control of your life again, and it's just everything just is better, way better. So on my third pregnancy, I had a girl, and I had cholestasis of pregnancy. So there's articles out there that says there is a 80% chance that on your first pregnancy you have cholestasis, on your second you will have. On my experience, I would say 99 or 100 obviously, because on my 4 pregnancies I had cholestasis. So yeah, so the third one, she I was scheduled to be delivered to deliver my baby again at 37 weeks, but baby decided to break my water. I went and my water broke when I was 33 weeks pregnant, and it was scary because I wasn't really in labor, but I was I'm getting interrupted, but I'm trying to finish this. I wasn't really in labor, but they kept me there, and they gave me the steroids and induced me because baby was stressed again. So she stayed at the hospital until her delivery date. I'm sorry, until her due date, and that was that. And then for my last baby, she was born at 37 weeks. I had my appointment to get induced on Sunday, and she was born on Saturday. I didn't have to get induced. She just came. So for sure, one of the things you take from this, from my experiences, is that major symptoms is itchiness, depression, little appetite, and baby's risks is or and I'm sorry, another risk is a hemorrhage. You may have a hemorrhage if you go undiagnosed, but if not, you're fine. Okay. And the second for babies is, of course, preterm babies. Like my third child came before the 37 weeks as planned, and of course my second child, the stress, and the heart dropping, and yeah, it's scary, but thank God nothing happened. And the only thing that I miss telling you guys is that when you have preemies, there's a higher risk of meconium, which means that they poop when they're before during labor. So this poop, when you deliver your baby, might go into their nose or their mouth, and then they might have breathing problems. So that's another scary factor that happened for my for my third baby, for when my water broke. Oh, my last baby was a girl too. So I have 2 boys and 2 girls. I'm sorry that I had to tell you this really, really quick. I am very busy. I have 4 kids. I hope you understood everything as much as possible. Just know that not all OBGYNs know of cholestasis. The reason why I did this video was because one of my coworkers was almost going diagnosed with cholestasis here in San Diego. Again, I live in San Diego now. And she was itching, and I noticed her itching, and I remembered, I'm like, dude, you need to say something. Tell him that you're itching, tell him that a coworker told you this, and tell him you need this blood test, because you really, really need to take care of it. And she got the blood test, and sure enough, she had cholestasis of pregnancy. So I've seen other videos, don't ignore the itch and all that stuff. Good for you. I'm glad that all of you girls are speaking up about this. And there goes my experiences. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.